Om suṣhumṇāyai kuṇḍalinyai sudhāyai chandra-janmane manonmanyai namastubhyaṃ mahā-śaktyai chid-ātmane suṣhumnāyai 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 kuṇḍalinyai sudhāyai chandra-janmane manonmanyai namastubhyaṃ mahā-śaktyai chid-ātmane. Om. So what was that first word of the term? Suṣhumnāyai. Okay. So Suṣumnā is referring to an empty reed, and it's referring to the middle path. And so once we've discovered everything is a composition of everything else, a composition of wave patterns, particularly in your immediate experience of it, you start to see, and you lose a prejudice towards either inhaling or exhaling, seeing that they're kind of need each other. The middle path opens, and that is the aha moment where you go, I'm not going to be biased towards one or the other. And so the Suṣumnā is the middle path. In the Suṣumnā, because immediately our mind makes a picture of it, which is okay. It's a sacred picture. But therefore they say that in the Suṣumnā there are all these more subtle forms of it, and the subtlest form of it is the beloved. It's the other being. It's the real puppy of the puppy, the kitten of the kitten, who's looking back at you, going like that. Okay. And so that is the middle path opened through humor, kindness, compassion. Okay. As a result of simply collecting the attention as in a sacred space. Suṣhumnāyai kuṇḍalinyai. Kuṇḍalinyai is referring to the coiling of the serpent pattern, a serpent-like pattern, that is considered the very tail of the aspect of prana that is apana, or that which makes you exhale, connects you to earth, connects you to the fact of shared experience, and whose home is in the pelvic floor. So that's way down there. And so this pattern tends to coil and to hold. And this is actually good. And so in our practice we're going to be using that. But it's a sacred pattern. Suṣhumnāyai kuṇḍalinyai. So when we say yai, that's feminine, and we're addressing Kuṇḍalini, we're addressing Suṣumnā as deities. Okay. Rather than as simply, that's an anatomical structure, or that's this or that, but ultimately, you are the supreme goddess. You are the beloved. Just amazing as you are. So that in the poetry of the chant, that eliminates the sense of I'm going to do this, I'm going to exploit this, I am going to
get
the goddess and run off to Sri Lanka with her and then fight Rama. Okay. Yogis have tried that a few times. It never worked out. Sudhāyai. Sudhā is nectar. And so the goddess who is nectar, who is compassion, who is ultimately who you actually are, who I am actually am. And as nectar, she chandra-janmane, she is born from the moon, which is considered to be the root of the palate. And the moon, the root of the palate is in the great chakra, where all of these processes of the entire universe, other universes and everything, all of them, they are living. They are time and space and thousands of entities, different creatures of all different types. But they have one product as they interface with each other. And they start to eventually communicate. It's just like in biological evolution. Eventually there's a product that drips, just like liquid falls always into the middle path and drips down, and that is compassion. Okay, so even if you have two different planetary systems where they don't even speak the same language, and they don't even look alike, if they actually sit down and, or maybe they can't sit because, if they somehow relate to each other and see each other in the other, the result of that is compassion. So that drips to the chandra, the moon, at the root of the palate. That produces another form of the goddess, manonmanyai, which is a silly name. It means a mindless mind, or no mind. Okay, how can you mind your mind if there's no mind? Okay, and so it's the delight of the self-reference paradox that a lot of people don't appreciate, but it's the funniest thing, and not even in the universe. Okay, is self-reference paradox, and so it is a mindless mind, and this is describing that state which you can't describe. Okay, but doesn't stop us from trying. Manonmanyai, namastubhyaṃ. So that's a way of saying namaste, but tubhyam is very respectful. Manonmanyai, namastubhyaṃ. And then the same goddess is the mahā-śaktyai, who is the Daivi Prakriti, the divine principle of creation, which is unutterably sacred, which is non-different from chid-ātmane, to you, chid-ātmane, which is merely the true self as just pure consciousness. And so, as a result of the chanting, and then more as a result of practicing, you'll know what those words mean. If you look them up in the dictionary, you get close, but not quite close enough.
And it's a chant that really solicits this feeling that we've been talking about in this little talk, this feeling of transmutation of emotion, of thought, into a sort of embodied sense of connectedness with the other, which we invite you to really play with as you ride waves of your emotions that arise, and come back again and again to really feeling connected to Earth, connected through the core.
Yeah. So we'll chant it slowly, but because this is a non-orthodox chant, you can chant it quickly if you're inspired. You can chant it really, really slowly, like a word a day if you really get deep into the practice. And so, feel free. So, Om suṣhumṇāyai, kuṇḍalinyai, sudhāyai, chandra-janmane, manonmanyai, namastubhyaṃ, mahā-śaktyai, chid-ātmane. Suṣhumnāyai, 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 kuṇḍalinyai, sudhāyai, chandra-janmane, manonmanyai, namastubhyaṃ, mahā-śaktyai, chid-ātmane.